There are things people don't tell you. Things you don't see in the tourism ads, the Instagram skyline shots, or the deep dish pizza TikToks. I live here, I work here, I help families move here every single week, and I'm telling you, Chicago is not for everybody. So in this video, I'm breaking down the real reasons people regret moving here, not the fake internet ones you always see, the ones that really matter, so you don't walk into this city blind. Number one, Chicago winter isn't just weather, it's survival training. People from warm states hear cold and they think, oh, I'll just throw on a jacket. No, not here you won't. Here's what Chicago's winter actually looks like. 35-mile-an-hour wind that hits you like a breakup text. Snow that shows up uninvited like your toxic ex. Black ice that waits until you've forgotten it exists. And random snowstorms in April. Yeah, April. Now the wind chill drops to negative temperatures here, and it makes your eyelashes basically freeze. Listen, I spent 12 years in my last career trudging through the snow, freezing, climbing poles. Not those poles. And every time winter hits, I wonder, how did I make it 12 years in that job? And how have I survived 38 years here? And here's what no one warns you about. It gets dark, and it gets dark early. By January, sun sets at 4:30. You walk outside, the whole city looks like it's fighting seasonal depression. And if you're mentally not prepared for this, winter will humble you. It will change your mind, it will change your habits, it will change your entire routine. Now, Chicago winter does not care where you come from. It wins every year. But if you're considering making a move to Chicago suburbs and you need help making sense of things, just feel free to call or text me here. Here's my number. Okay, so the cold weather doesn't bother you, but this next one will. Number two. Let's talk about the thing that absolutely blindsides people who move to Chicago. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this. Illinois taxes do not play around here. They hit you from every single angle like they're trying to speed run your bank account. Now, let's break it down because this shocks almost everyone who relocates here. Illinois has some of the highest property taxes in the entire country. Not top 10, not top 5, they rank top 3 and you feel it immediately. You'll see a $450,000 home in the suburbs that looks perfect. You'll scroll down and see the tax bill's $12,000, sometimes $15,000. I've literally seen homes with $18,000 plus property taxes. People think it's a typo. Nope, that's the actual bill. And here's the kicker. Two identical homes in two different suburbs can have drastically different tax amounts because every township has its own formula, its own budget, and honestly, its own mood swings. Now, when you live in Chicago, you're not just paying taxes. You're paying those taxes. Cook County does things a little extra. Extra fees for vehicle stickers, city stickers, surprise fines, environmental fees, parking fees, permit fees for literally everything. And I'm convinced if you sneeze too loud downtown, they're going to send you a letter in the mail with some fees. And if the taxes don't scare you, this one will. Number three. This is the part that always goes viral, and for good reason. Chicago is a block-by-block city, meaning one street feels like a postcard from 1999, and the next feels like you just spawned into GTA Online without any weapons. The other day, I had a friend call me super casual. He's like, hey man, how's Chicago been? He's catching up, and I told him, it's good. Just throwing on the bulletproof vest, I'm heading out to get the mail this morning. I'm totally joking, of course, but also not really. The news, the viral videos you see online, well, they're real. But it's not the entire city, okay? Still, the randomness is what scares people. And Chicago is one of the most unpredictable major cities in America. It's not the entire city is dangerous. It's that safety changes from block to block, town to town. When I was a little younger, I was hanging out with a girl who moved here from Texas, and she had just found the cheapest rent she could right near her job. And she quickly found out why rent was so cheap. Now let's be honest, social media shows the worst of Chicago. And yes, some of it is definitely exaggerated, but much of it is real and it affects daily life here. Cool, you're good with living in GTA Online, great. But this next one makes me question every time I drive my car. Number four. This is something that will absolutely drain your soul if you move here. Chicago traffic. Because every city has traffic, sure, but Chicago traffic is just built differently. It's like the engineer said, what if we created the most stressful driving experience possible and then never fixed it? Let's start with the biggest offenders. I-290, the Eisenhower, aka the parking lot. If you've ever driven 290, you already know it is less of a highway and more of a shared road rage event for everyone involved. People joke that the Eisenhower is where dreams go to die, and it really does. You're sitting completely still at 11:45 in the morning on a random Wednesday thinking, why? Why is this happening? Who caused this? Is there a reason? Is this just the default setting? And then you realize there's no accident, there's no lane closure, no breakdown, just vibes. Even when Google Maps says 18 minutes, you know deep down, it's never just 18 minutes. All right, I-294, the Tri-State Tollway, the highway under perpetual construction. If 290 is bad, 294 is the highway that gaslighting built, I swear. This road has been under construction since, I don't know, 1972. And not just a little construction, major, life-altering, lane-shifting, good luck, where's my exit today construction. Every time you drive it, something's changed. A lane has moved, an exit just disappeared, new walls have popped up overnight, the shoulder became an actual lane on your right, the real lane number, we have no idea. Even your GPS is confused. It's like, merge right, I think. Honestly, bro, just you're on your own. People who don't live here don't realize how bad 294 can get. 2 lanes, 3 lanes, 4 lanes, who knows? Sometimes semis take up every visible inch of the road, and you're just praying that you can maintain the same speed and get next to them or get by them. And the tolls, oh the tolls, you're paying premium prices to drive on a road that feels like it's halfway done, because it is, and it will be, probably forever. Okay, so don't leave your house, but here's the next problem, number 5. Everyone assumes the Midwest equals cheap cost of living. Not in Chicago. A single grocery trip at Mariano's, Jewel, or Whole Foods, easily $150 to $200 for a normal family. You want organic? Just add another 40 bucks. Snacks for the kids? Just throw another 30 bucks in. A steak? You might as well sign a card note. Even Aldi isn't as cheap as it is in other states. Now, Chicago has incredible restaurants, but you pay for that greatness. Dinner for 2 downtown? 150 bucks easy. Brunch, 65 bucks just to eat eggs at 11 a.m. Coffee shops, $6 to $8 lattes are standard now. Even fast casual places like Portillo's or Chipotle are noticeably more expensive than they are in other states. Now, you go out one weekend and suddenly you're eating ramen for the next 2 weeks waiting for payday to show up. Now, back to speaking winter, your gas bill in Chicago, it just hits different. You'll see $200 to $300 heating bills and I think, is this normal? Yep, it is. Electric isn't cheap either here for some reason. Water bills spike, internet providers overcharge because there really isn't enough competition and hasn't been for years. Everything basically just adds up. So it's cold, taxes took half your paycheck, it's a war zone outside, you can't leave because the traffic's so bad, and the Mariano's trip just drained your bank account, but you're still finding yourself having questions about the Chicago market? Give me a call right here or sign up for my weekly emails below where I go over all the most up-to-date information. Now, to the last 2 reasons. Number 6. Most older Chicago and suburban homes have basements that were built for storing coal, not people. So you walk downstairs and you get ceilings were so low LeBron could probably get a concussion. Floors are slanted like a carnival little fun house. There's mysterious seepage every time it rains. Some pumps that probably work harder than you do. And you generally get the vibe, do I even want to be down here? Everyone envisions a finished basement with a bar and a TV. Instead, you get a basement where a raccoon probably could live there for the entire week and you wouldn't even know. Now, older Chicago area homes come with windows that do an incredible job of letting the wind in. You'll see a breeze indoor and think, did someone open the window or door? Nope, that's just your 100-year-old window saying, hi. And insulation? Let's say many of these homes have the same insulation value as a cardboard box. Your winter heating bill will look like a second mortgage once you get it. Now, old Chicago and suburban homes do not do open concept. You get tiny little kitchens, random walls, hallways that lead to other hallways, closets big enough for one shoe. Now, rooms feel like they were added on a dare. If you want open concept, you'll need a structural engineer, some steel beams, 3 permits, 5 inspections, and an emotional support dog. Now, opening a wall is not a weekend project here. It's an Olympic event. All right, we just spent the last 10 minutes absolutely dogging Chicago. We talked about the weather, the taxes, the crime, the traffic, the old homes, the cost of living, and yet, here's the twist. People still move here, people still stay here, and a lot of people never want to leave. Why? Because Chicago does something to you. Let's talk about it. The food scene is ridiculous, and I mean that in the absolute best way possible. Chicago has a food that makes other cities look like they serve airport snacks the entire city. It has the best pizza in the country, and no, not just deep dish. We got famous Italian beef spots that everyone knows about, hot dog places that will physically hurt you if you ask for ketchup. You know which place that is. Famous restaurants along the entire streets, and let's not even forget about suburbs like Naperville, Geneva, Schaumburg. If you move here and you don't gain 10 pounds, you've probably failed. You see, Chicago doesn't feel like one city. It feels like 50 small towns stitched together. Each neighborhood has its own identity, from Lincoln Park, Lakeview, Hyde Park, the Loop, Pilsen, and the suburbs like Naperville, Elmhurst, Geneva, Barrington. No matter who you are, there's always going to be a neighborhood for you. And if you're a sports fanatic, Chicago is just a whole different vibe. From the Bears tailgates, the Cubs games from the Wrigley rooftops, the Blackhawks game, the Bulls, I love the Bulls, the White Sox, win or lose, usually lose. The energy here is just unmatched when it comes to sports. And the real reason I've never left, the Chicago suburbs are elite. We're talking top tier schools, parks are everywhere, beautiful downtowns, real community events all the time. It's safe, bigger homes, more space, and I'm still 30 to 40 minutes to the city. Now, you want the suburb life without giving up entertainment, food, or culture? This is probably one of the best places in the United States to do it. Now, Chicago has its flaws, big ones, and we're honest about them. But Chicago also has the foods, the neighborhoods, the lake, the culture, the sports, the energy, the history, the suburbs, and people. It's not perfect, but it's alive. And if you understand how to navigate it, it becomes one of the most rewarding places you can live. And that's why people stay. I'll be honest, I'm never leaving. I love the suburbs. My family thrives here, and with a little clubfoot kiddo that has one of the best doctors in the world right here down the street, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Now, if you or anyone you know has a clubfoot kid and you want to know the best doctor and the best hospital in the Chicago suburbs, make sure you watch this video.